Yo, yo, yo. Let me make sure. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can't hear me. Alright, if you in the chat and you can hear me, say what's up to make sure I know that my motherfucking audio is working the way you need to. Cause we're gonna talk about it. Let me go ahead and put the link out here before this nigga Blue ass for it. Ah, man, we gotta stop doing this shit, dog. I'm gonna keep it a bean. We gotta stop doing this shit, y'all. Like, check this out. I can't be going back and forth with the judges talking about y'all can't be disrespecting the debaters and the topics they pick. And these is the topics that niggas is running with. I'm sure now Taz is gonna have a phenomenal score. Increase his he gonna put himself on top. Ahrataza is gonna remain at the bottom. This was a perfect example as to why. But I'm gonna keep it a stack. I could not watch this whole shit. I could not watch this whole shit. This is the thing. If I'm Taz, I'm taking this debate too. Fuck the audio. Fuck all the other shit. Fuck it being a stupid topic. If a nigga bring me this topic, I'm debating this shit too. Nigga, I'm telling a nigga set it up. Nigga talk about it. Are black women treacherous? Yeah, I'm setting it the fuck up. There's one side to that conversation. This debate was not a question of, well, you know, let's examine two sides. Let's see, you know, even playing devil's advocate. And y'all gotta excuse me. I ain't gonna get, you know what I'm saying, my boy in there sleep. So I ain't trying to, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to do, you know, wake my mans up. I'm trying to get him to sleep through the night. But bruh, like, to take the position in a debate, a scheduled, organized, structured debate that black women are treacherous, that black women are, that's a position you taking. It ain't nothing but black people here.
Domo.
You haven't, twin, hold on real quick. I gotta get this off, bro. Cause it ain't nothing but black people here. I mean, this ain't MTV, nigga. It's niggas watching. In what world does it make sense to position black women, the mother of every motherfucker watching this channel? What sense does it make? Ahrataza cannot seriously be considering being taken serious in this debate league if these are the positions that he is willing to defend. In what world does this make sense as a hill to die on? You gonna die on the hill calling black women treacherous to black people? A large reason why we exist in the person who put us in position to exist in the first place? These are black people that you talking to. And then to debate, what do y'all think y'all gonna prove talking shit about black women to Taz? Please help me understand that. What do y'all niggas think y'all getting out of challenging Taz to a debate where you take the position against black women?
Just looking to lose, bro.
Like,
Come on.
what sacrifice are you making?
You're just a sacrificial lamb at that point, bro.
For what? Why put yourself on the altar?
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. Because I feel like a lot of dudes who take and hold a lot of these positions have something to prove, to make it seem like black women have it so much easy and their complaints aren't valid. When at the end of the day, let's keep it a buck, since we're keeping it a buck. All the complaints that a lot of these dudes have, Domo, as a direct result of their interactions with black men. If you're complaining about abortion, because I was listening to the Shucklebuck, it would, like, Solar couldn't even really Shucklebuck Taz on that, because it's gonna be hard to try to kill him on that, because you're talking about abortion. All right, how does a woman get pregnant, Domo? You have to get her pregnant. A man would have to get her pregnant, correct? Now, someone would sit here and say she should be responsible, but we're not talking about her. In that situation, you also have equal control. And let's be real, if you're a man and you're complaining about child support and you're making all of these complaints, it would behoove you to protect yourself. That's why a lot of these arguments make no sense. At the end of the day, if you are a man, it's always going to come right back around to you and your actions. That's why I don't understand any of these dudes' arguments. You mad at Goldman Sachs. You know what Goldman Sachs is looking at? The numbers. Black women are putting themselves in positions to open more businesses than black men, have more education than black men, and that's our fault. That's not their fault. So why the fuck wouldn't they invest in them? Let's just keep this a buck.
I mean, but
they've shown the ability to work together, Domo. Black women have. We don't, and that's why they're doing it.
See, and this is my thing though. In what world does the success of black women, or even the attention or the accolades of black women, become detrimental for black men?
Exactly.
In what world does this exist? This is why I say a lot of this shit is really, it only makes sense on YouTube. You only gonna see it here because there's a reason why these niggas can't say shit like this in real life.
Because you're gonna get laughed out the room, bro.
But there's a reason why. Like, you have to come here.
They would have to be around a specific type of dudes to say shit like this in real life. Because a real man is going to listen to that shit. She's better than me because she got an education. A real man's gonna say, well, why don't you just go get your education?
But see, this is one thing I want to address, right? Because it's like this comes from niggas like who have weird interpretations of the Bible, like Ahrataza does. And this is the relationship with that they try to create in terms of black women being the detriment, right? Like black, because this is still in line with the debate that I feel like it was Taz and Madon, I think it was, on what's more detrimental, black men swirling or white or black women swirling or whatever.
Who's more detrimental?
But there is a concerted effort that start with the way niggas play with the Bible to position the black woman as the downfall of the black community. There is a narrative that is created and then justified. The shit's not real.
It's not.
You can't look at black communities and position black women in a particular way and say that shit is fucking true.
By default, Domo, these men who claim they want to be leaders are putting black women in the leadership position and don't see it. Because when Solar asked him, so aren't black men the head of the household? He said yes. So you're gonna die in that instance because your whole argument makes no sense now. If you're saying black men are the leaders, okay, how is she treacherous? How is she betraying you? If you're sitting here saying you're the leader is basically the one who sets the morals, the standards, and direction for the followers. What do Black women see on a regular basis, Domo? They're not going to see like I hate to again, they're not going to see a bunch of family men walking around. They're just not. I can't tell you, Domo, you probably heard this from Black women. These dudes are out here playing games. I'm just going to do me because everybody else is doing them. Who do you think these women is talking about, bruh? They're not talking about their sisters. They talking about us. They're emulating our behavior. And because at this point now, there's a lot of us who's feeling like we're losing, or somehow, some way, Black women are above us, instead of realizing, bro, just change your behavior. How does what somebody else do affect you?
No,
There's only one Black woman that can affect me, and that's my wife. That's why I don't understand how every Black woman in the community can be treacherous to me.
And now we do have Ahrataza here. Ahrataza, are you there, bro?
Yo, peace, Domo, twin.
So, straight up. So let's get right to it, bro. Where did the desire, like who offered the debate topic? Who asked this? Like who came up with this topic, the title?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I was thinking. Well, we was thinking of a topic to describe. Treacherous is a strong word, but like it is what it is. It is like it just you can use synonyms for it. It means the same damn thing. You can try to make it as bad as you want, though.
What are some other ways that you would describe Black women in the vein of treacherous?
I mean, untrustworthy.
Untrustworthy.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
no, I want some other words though. So untrustworthy. What else?
Unfaithful.
Unfaithful. What else?
No commitment.
So non-committal. So what you mean, like to the Black community or period?
Yeah, to like that's why even in my premise I said their actions is like detrimental. It's like a treacherous behavior in the community.
Okay. So you said, hold on. So you said they unfaithful, they non-committed or non-committal, and you said they untrustworthy.
Yeah.
What is the evidence to this? Where are you getting where are you getting the justification for these claims?
Okay.
Hello?
Did his audio go out?
Let me see. He's still here. He not muted.
So stand on truth, man.
Hold on. You was going in and out.
Yeah, he was going in and out.
So the question was, where is the justification for these claims? Why are you saying Black women are not trustworthy?
In reality.
What reality? Describe it. That's just a word. That don't mean nothing in the context of what we're talking about. Describe reality.
I mean, you got a biased stance, bro. I'm
asking you a question though. This ain't got nothing to do. This ain't got nothing to do with my stance. I'm asking you to be as clear and as concise as you possibly can. Saying reality and then saying that I have a biased stance don't make no fucking sense.
It actually do.
So explain reality. Describe reality.
I ain't trying to honestly be fucking shit. Reality.
Hold on.
Listen, the civil rights movement. I always mention that it was the man, woman, and child cohesive unit, making progress, but the woman seemed to jump ship and take her and the baby over to damn feminism, bro.
To feminism.
Sign of treachery.
To feminism.
Just like
to feminism. What does it mean to take the woman and the child to feminism? What does that mean?
Because the fight of feminism is not the same as the fight that civil rights was going through, that and it was more of a selfish agenda.
So but what does it mean for Black women to take themselves and Black children to feminism? What does that mean? Because feminism is a philosophy. It's an ideology.
They stopped fighting for what Black people was fighting for and start fighting
So today, what are Black women fighting for today?
I guess the same thing they've been fighting for.
What's that?
Women's rights.
Black women have been fighting for women's rights.
Yeah.
I have to know one thing before we continue this, Domo. I have to ask one question. Can I ask him a question?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Do you even know or understand what feminism is about?
Well, you got some waves of them. The first one was the suffrage, I think. The second one.
What is the main goals and purposes of feminism, bro? Because the way I'm hearing this, you're making it seem like feminism is a way to undercut manhood in some way.
It is.
Really? So what is the purposes of feminism?
It's a woman proclamation of like separation from the man. It's like even
what?
like the abortion is catered to women in the feminist movement.
So let's be real. I think and for those who watching, let's just point this out. These words, the way that they deployed on YouTube, are meaningless.
Exactly.
Feminism is a boogeyman on YouTube. It had the way that Ahrataza just deployed the term feminism has no real meaning behind it. It has a energy behind it. It's a boogeyman.
It's a buzzword used to gaslight. I'm just gonna say what it is.
It's a philosophy, but that motherfucker got feet, bro.
No, I mean
I have a question. One more question for him, Domo. Do you believe women who do the same exact job as a man should get equal pay as that man doing the same exact job?
No.
Nah, but see, the thing is, I really care less. Not to be honest, I really care less about like his position, and I want to know more motive. I want to know incentive. I'm trying to develop an understanding as to what you, Ahrataza, feel is productive about this conversation, about this position.
Basically, it's pointing out a criticism. It's not actually putting blame on nothing. Like I'm trying to point out a criticism and a problem running rampant in the community. That is stemmed from the rebellious, like the prideful ignorance of Black women rebelling from their God-given man, right?
This is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life, bro.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's difficult, right? Like, it's difficult. Boy Blue.
Like, I'm trying not to laugh every time he says something because, like, I have a whole Black wife. She's not rebelling from me.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing.
Listen, one like y'all can try to ignore the truth, like even like.
Hold on, we're not gonna. Hold on, time out. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that because this is the thing, right? Like you
tossing out words. Domo, I can't take it no more. He's tossing out words like truth. He said nothing.
Listen, because when I listen, like I got a mama, bro, and I hear women say things like, I don't need a man. I'm strong and independent. This is a declaration.
And as a man, you know what you're supposed to let that shit do? Go in one ear and out the other because they challenge
a man with these words. Like
they're talking shit.
But see, this is
that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
See, this is my thing though, and this is why
a woman talking shit.
But
has affected you that much, bro?
See, hold on, time out. It's like, see, this is the thing. He just had like an hour and a half to get his explanations out. So we've heard the explanation. You feel me? So I'm really less invested in like his particular perspective because like I couldn't listen to the debate because of it. I couldn't tolerate it. Like that type of like that level of ignorance in terms of, you know, the relationship that black women have with the black community and black men. Like I cannot. It was hard to listen to. So I just kind of knew that since this was right up, you know, Taz's wheelhouse, it was gonna be a body. It was gonna be a body. I am more so trying to develop, and I do in here from Blue. I was more so trying to develop an understanding of
What up, Blue?
incentive. You feel me? Because again, I know the incentive for Taz to have this conversation. I know the incentive because again, we in a debate league.
130.
We in a debate league.
130.
You know what I'm saying? Like we trying to have debates. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get like get points or whatever. So like if I could beat up on a whatever who challenging me, I'd do that. You feel me? But I think it's something to be said about the niggas that proposition niggas for these debates, because it's like this is the only opportunity for them to be able to get that shit off. And it's as counterproductive and just as destructive as it is to even have that type of dialogue amongst the community. I mean, niggas need to at least see it get destroyed. And I mean, this is not the type of shit, like for me, especially even hosting the post debate show, this ain't some shit I'm objective about. There is no objective stance in terms of demonizing black women. There is no objectivity in any claim that black women are treacherous. Specifically from the person making the claim that black women are treacherous. Let's just be
It's
honest.
about accountability, not demonizing nothing.
No, but to say that black women are treacherous is demonizing them uniquely. Even I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could play with the language as much as you want. Like there's ways that people justify racism, sexism, class, like all of that shit, classism, all of that shit.
Don't forget misogyny and chauvinism, because
Yeah,
that's what he's displaying. That's what he's displaying with this conversation right now.
Like
again, Ahrataza. Like, bruh, you mentioned abortion in the debate. Could a woman have an abortion could a black woman, let's keep this specific since this was about black women. Could black women have abortions if black men weren't getting them pregnant?
That question is like
that question's like what? Like common sense?
Nah, it's half of the issue.
It's not half of the issue. Because now I'm gonna give you a little background on me.
It's a loaded question.
It's not a loaded question. It's about your morals and standards. You're a God-fearing man.
Where are yours coming in at?
Mine's come in by not getting women pregnant.
By
not getting women pregnant that are not my wife. That's where my morals and standards start. I believe in having a relationship that leads to somewhere. And not
no man has said nothing. That means the men are taking accountability. What about the women?
How are men taking it, bro? You sat here and blamed women, and 95% of your argument
no, I didn't blame. I pointed out
a man it literally can have control over.
I didn't.
Guess what? My wife can't have an abortion,
bro.
bro. My wife would never have an abortion because that is the standards I've laid out in my house. Do you understand what I'm saying? My wife doesn't have to take me to child support because she's my wife and she knows she ain't going nowhere because I'm going to provide, protect, and be the head of the household. How many black men are doing that instead of just trying to get into somebody's pants? Let's be real and honest about this, bro.
When I mention reality, y'all speak as if the things that I'm saying do not happen in front of your eyes. That's what I say.
I'm giving you truth and reality now. If we had brothers who weren't sitting here running around trying to hop in between legs instead of doing that, trying to build relationships that lead to marriage, you wouldn't have an argument. Again, like I said to Domo earlier, this shit always going to come right back to us because we're in control of the situation.
You straw manning me. I never said that was not an issue. Everything y'all saying, I never said it. That wasn't even the debate.
Let's get the blue. Boy Blue in the building. Comments, questions. We do have Ahrataza here. We are waiting on the scores. The link is in the chat, or it's pinned to the top of the chat. Blue, how you feeling?
Yeah, I think when you definitely have this type of debate, I mean, I think the title alone kind of puts you in the hole. But when you
he was there. He was there from the get go.
Yeah, but your argumentation, there's ways that you can do it where you don't have to be attacking. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't have to be under the attack. I think if you want to show, there's ways that you can show treachery or whatever you're trying to show, but without happening to necessarily where it looks like you're just throwing the black woman under the bus.
Bro, saying treacherous, nigga, that language, that word specifically, throws the black woman under the bus, bro.
Oh, yeah. Now words.
Even if you use the word accountability.
Now words got
meaning.
For
what?
You can't change the word now.
But I'm saying, even if we did, what are they taking accountability for?
What you mean?
I need an explanation on that. Because he came up here, he said, and he even admitted maybe that was a loaded word. Got it. So even if you're saying accountability, give me what they need accountability for. He sat here and said that they are untrustworthy. Bruh, black men again are creating a bunch of single mothers. He sat here and said all this other shit. They're not for us. Black men date out 3 times more than black women. Bro, we're gonna take the L in this debate every time.
By default, you mentioned black men, but black women is also included in that equation.
I didn't sit here and say they didn't. Who does it more? Who does it more? Black men or black women?
I know multiple women that's pregnant by the same dude in the neighborhood.
Okay. You see how you said the dude. So if all those dudes had some goddamn morals and standards, why didn't somebody marry her? Why didn't her first baby father marry her? Again, bro, you gonna take the L on that every time.
Do you think that marriage is a black issue?
It was targeted. Yeah. It was targeted towards blacks, the break up the family.
Like you think that it's just black women that are having trouble with men, or do you think that all women are having trouble?
I think like the way that society is structured, that all women are having a problem and issue with men, but the like my debate wasn't even blaming. It was like pointing out things that led women to be isolated away from the man, to be taken advantage of, such as feminism, and then the abortion, you know what I mean, which gave incentive, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I'm not actually placing blame. I'm actually pointing out key factors that could actually heal, you know what I mean. People actually attacking me, but I never actually said anything like you doing this and that and you stripping in you. Like, come on, man. Let's be real and look at reality. That's what I'm actually trying to say.
I think though you're gonna always have trouble though when it's like what. So where do you think black men fall into it?
This is how I look at it. Black men was always when a woman left, the black man was left by himself. You know, we was already down. We was coming up out of slavery or whatever story we was told. We was fighting for rights, and you know what I mean. And they took that opportunity to take advantage. You know what I mean? Hey, we got something for you over here. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. And when it happened, it led to the destruction. The woman became competitive with the man, fighting for a competitive place in society and stuff like that. When the white woman has never actually rebelled against a man, they talk all that shit, but she right up on them.
What? Blue? What did he just say? Blue, he came up here talking about feminism. You realize he came up here talking about feminism, right? Who started the feminism movement, Blue? White women or black women?
White women.
So how the fuck is that not if we're going by his talking points now, Is that not a rebellion or rebellious spirit against white men just because they started the feminism movement? He talked about women's suffrage. Women's suffrage was started by who, Blue?
Yeah, but look though, Marcus, but even outside of like the black, like I think where you're gonna have trouble because black feminism is different from other feminism. So like if you're talking about black feminism, you usually gonna be talking about Kimberly Crenshaw, right, and intersectionality. So it kind of works a little bit different than actual Margaret Sanger and you know what I'm saying, the usual feminism. And so I think a lot of times we kind of got to look into that aspect of it. Though there are black women that are getting caught up in the other shit, but the overall, when we talk about like what the feminist movement is for black people, it's different from what we what we typically think of when we're talking about
What's good? What's good, twin man?
But we had an established fight as a family though, as a people. That's what I'm saying. It was
I don't think you're wrong, but you got to be able to.
I said that in a debate. I was like, I
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's your point, then you got to make sure that it don't sound like you going one direction.
Yeah, but that's why in my debate I said I was being careful with my words because I do believe that like crossing certain boundaries. That's why you don't hear me say certain things. You know what I mean?
Ahrataza, do you really believe black women are treacherous to the black community? You don't really even sound like you do believe that.
I don't believe it in the aspect that y'all do, but I do believe that there is like you say, backstabbing. There is
y'all know I got a similar debate, right?
A lot of
Can I ask you a question?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question?
You don't even sound like you actually believe that, bro.
But I just gotta ask you. I gotta ask you a question though. Who's more backstabbing in the community, black man or black woman?
I mean,
who more treacherous?
That wasn't a debate. That wasn't a debate. But if I would look, it is a family problem, bro. Y'all trying to break it up, bro. This is what I'm saying, bro.
Whose job is it to create family, bro?
But you can't, if your woman is
I can't hear him.
What order, bro. You can't have the woman claiming to be
that. I couldn't hear what you said.
And the mother and the father. Oh, I run this house, and like there has to be a level of accountability. That's all I'm saying.
So if you choose, hold on. So I have a question. If you choose a disrespectful woman and that woman didn't respect you from the jump and you got her pregnant, is that her fault or your fault? If you're with a woman and she's talking to you crazy off jump and you decide to put a baby in that woman who feels she can come into your house and tell you she's the king of this castle, she's the head of this house, you can't tell me shit. Why are you putting a baby in her?
I mean, but you point.
So where's the responsibility of that man not to put a baby in a disrespectful woman and doesn't respect?
You are trying to place blame. Like
it's not about placing blame. It's about you said reality.
Trap that has been laid.
Ahrataza, you talked about reality, right? I'm giving you reality. My wife is not going to disrespect me, telling me she runs shit in my house because she's not going to be my wife.
You're speaking in the vacuum.
Again, whose job is it to create stable family? That's not a woman's role, bruh.
I think that's something to be, and that's why I say, man, you gotta be able to kind of see the whole game. Me and Taz is getting ready to have pretty much almost, well, it's not the same debate, but we have a debate finished. Is the relationship between is the black woman's relationship with the system detrimental to black men? And it's ways that you can have this conversation, especially discussing the system without necessarily throwing a black woman up. But like, you don't have to attack her character. You don't have to attack it's the way to show that we are in this fight together without.
I gotta ask a question though.
But how we gonna fight together if you fucking throwing rocks behind your hand though. That's what I mean by accountability. When that's all it was about, and they do shit that's wicked and wrong too.
That's not the majority. Like this is the thing
That is
though.
the majority. You
No, it
actually,
is not, bro.
yes, it is. And y'all, I'm sitting up here watching reality. All y'all play this fucking game.
Oh, but hold on, Rocky.
Never
So,
heard
so
nothing. Shit is
I gotta
crazy.
ask you a question though.
Well,
How
hold
can
on. Let me
black?
say this. Let me say this
Man,
point to
y'all,
him.
your questions be loaded, brother.
Hold on, Rocky.
No, no, no. You don't know what question I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him get it. But let me just ask you this. This is where your problem comes in at though, Rocky. Is that you're still making like it's a distinction there, bro. Like you're still making a separation, and you're claiming that you're not, but like you gotta. It's just I can't really say it, bro.
No,
I
no.
gotta.
You saying I'm making a distinction or a separation, but the brother just asked me, well, who you say is more treacherous in the community, black men or black women? And I told him, hey man, I'm not see you placing blame. I'm actually trying to bind it together, bruh. Y'all the ones up here, hey, the black man do this and that. But I'm saying no, on both
Because,
sides.
bro, at the
But
end of
my
the
debate
day,
is specifically the black woman, King. I could talk
bro,
about
at the end of the
another
day,
day.
bro, at the end of the day, bro, you're putting us in the follower position behind black women, bro. And you don't even see it. You're making women the leader
Hey,
of the
they
community, and they're
proclaim
not.
it. I ain't gotta say shit, bro. They proclaim it and show it. So
No,
what's
no,
up?
no. In your life, maybe.
No,
In
no,
your life,
no. The
maybe.
model,
Speak for
they model,
yourself.
they catchphrases. I don't need a
No, no,
man
no.
on the
Speak
man.
for yourself. Black women
Um,
run you. Black women
But
don't
let me
run
ask
you.
you this. But why do you think black women are saying they don't need a man? Why do you think that? Hello? You hear
He's
me?
talking about they proclaimed what? By doing what? Opening businesses, getting education, taking care of the kids that black men abandoned. Like, how's that proclaiming leadership?
no, you keep saying abandoned. That's the strongest word is treachery. So you would have to show this abandonment.
So we don't. Oh,
You would have to
I could
show
show that
black
abandonment.
men,
You know, I could show
hey,
that
fuck the
abandonment. A 78%
because
out
I
of
can show
wedlock birth
you
rate.
the
I could show that
cities
abandonment.
that
The fact
coaches
that y'all
our
actually
kids
on
like that.
YouTube complaining about child support. I can prove my abandonment. Can you
I need
prove
to
black
ask you a
women's
question
treachery?
though.
And
No, hold on,
you
Rozzy.
How
Can you prove black women's treachery? I just proved my
I
argument.
mean,
Prove yours.
I explained it, bro. I mean, if you like I say, if you don't want to talk about reality, bro, like the conversation is pretty much over because you sound dumb.
but can
Nigga.
I need to ask you a question. How should black women be like? How do we hold black women responsible for their treachery, as you say? How can
By
we hold
It's
them
crying
not
about them on
responsible?
you,
about. It's
bro.
look honestly with me is you see, it's not about forcing or making
Yeah, I'm good.
this.
Go ahead.
This is the order. Either you under it or you not. If you don't want to, you can stay your ass where you at. You know what I mean? Like y'all want this forceful. I'm not trying to. Most women, actually,
Okay.
Most women, what?
And see, that's the thing, bro. To me, I
And,
think
and,
if
and
you
and I need to ask you this. I need to ask this, right? Because I came late, right? I didn't
no,
even get to
hold on,
see the
wait till you come
debate.
back. Wait till you come back, because I think he lost it.
I'm breaking up.
Oh, okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Stuff
Now I
breaking up.
need to ask this. Okay, I need to ask this because I came late, right? Can you I came late. I'm just coming in. So can you give 5 examples of black women's treachery? Like 5 examples?
I mean, I ain't trying to go through that.
I mean, I just came late. I just want to know, like what you think. I don't know.
I mean, I debate that the black women took led them into demonizing the black man, basically saying he is a pedophile, he don't take care of their kids, he a criminal, that's why he in the prison system, this, that, and the third, and they go along with this narrative of the man ain't shit. So that is a form of treachery to me because you're not standing by your head. You
R.
actually
Kelly a pedophile?
demonizing, degrading.
Is R. Kelly a pedophile?
Say that again.
Is R. Kelly a
And what,
pedophile?
okay,
Hold on,
and
Rozzy.
what else do you consider
Real quick,
treacherous?
Rozzy. Real quick. Is R. Kelly a pedophile?
Where do they got to do with anything?
You one of the examples
You
you
asking me
used,
you
one
asking
of
me
the examples
irrelevant
you
questions.
used, you said black
That's what I
women
was
call
saying.
black men
Just
pedophiles.
trying
Is
y'all just
R.
in y'all
Kelly a
emotion like
pedophile?
me, man. Y'all not looking at me.
Is
Use your
R. Kelly
emotions,
a
man.
pedophile?
You
Yes
a
or no?
pedophile. You a pedophile.
I know I'm not,
What?
so I'm not worried about that, bro. I know
So
I'm not.
shut up,
Is
bro.
R. Kelly a pedophile?
You dismissed.
Is R. Kelly a pedophile, Lane?
Okay, now
Because I could call names with the best of them. I'm trying to keep it cordial. Because you sat here and said they're calling black men
Hey, bro,
pedophiles.
your
You
energy
mean,
is not cordial, nigga. What the fuck you mean?
bruh, there's no need for all that. I understand you can't make an argument because your argument's dumb and you're a weak ass nigga. But
Because
we
I
can keep
wouldn't
it
get
cordial.
hot for nothing,
We can
bro.
keep
I
it
can
cordial. We can keep it cordial. I understand you're a
let's keep it cordial.
nah. I
It ain't.
understand you're a
Hey,
broken man and
let
women
me
run
keep it
over
cordial.
you, but we can try to keep this
Let
cordial.
me keep it
So
cordial.
again,
Let me keep it
you
cordial.
use pedophilia as an example. I believe black
Let me.
women and also black men like myself will call a pedophile, like R. Kelly, like polite.
I'm not up here to be interrogated by you, nigga. I ain't got to answer your fucking questions. Now
Now,
move
so
on.
I understand your pussy wet
Keep it
because you
moving,
can't
bro.
win a debate and you took a dumbass debate. I
I
understand your
ain't
pussy
dealing with
wet
y'all
now,
niggas,
but we could have kept it
man.
cordial.
Y'all
But if you
goofy
want to
niggas
be
that want to sit
pussy,
there
you
with
can
the
be
women,
pussy.
shake their ass,
If
have a
you want to
bunch
be
of
pussy, you
y'all
can be pussy, bro.
drop y'all the same nigga that dropping seeds in
You want
these
to be
women.
pussy, you can be pussy.
Shut the
Don't
fuck
get
up.
tough with me because you can't get tough. Don't get tough with me. You don't want scared of women running away from women thinking they run you. Don't try to get tough with me.
Y'all the
He's
one
running away from women though.
Don't get
Damn.
tough with me, bro.
And this,
You can't even handle a woman. So don't get tough with me, bro. Go back
and
on
look,
mute. Shut the
Oh
fuck
my
up. You can
goodness.
have the conversation,
I
pussy.
got. Can I ask you a question? I
I'm
need to ask. Cause I just want to talk to her. Like you gave one example. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, you gave one example how you think they're treacherous. Can you give me another example?
I mean, the fact that they hold the key to who they lay down with and choose men who are of the lowest kind with no purpose, no motive, no goals, no agenda, just sitting out on the block. They just you know what I mean, sitting around doing bullshit, bro, hanging out, and they think that shit cool when they're young, and that's been the impression of society to just do what you want to do, bro. When we gotta deal.
So when you say that they choose guys with no motives and no goals, do you think that's most black men or do you think that's just some?
That's the majority.
That's the majority of black men.
Yeah.
whoa. The majority of black men
So
are what?
so
I
so
got
so if,
my
He
criticisms of
basically
black
just said the
men too,
majority
but
of
that's
black
not
men
the
ain't
topic.
shit. As he said, they complained about black women saying black men ain't shit. Isn't that
so
funny?
hold up. So
I'm real truthful. I ain't contradicting myself now. Is
no,
that
but
what you're
you know,
trying to say?
I just want to
You kind
me.
of
I just
did.
want.
No, Rozzy, hold
But
on, real quick. You're dead. You contradicted
There goes
yourself.
solar man.
You
See, I knew you
contradicted
was that. You
yourself,
a
bro.
dummy, bro.
All right,
This,
all right, all right. What's going on,
yeah,
guys?
Sola, tell us how much he lost by, bro.
All right, all right. Is everybody in the building?
What Domo at?
yeah, I'm here, baby.
Need a screen
You there,
share.
Domo?
He might have ran off real quick. Oh, there we go. You got it, Solar. Yeah, I'll just say this while he doing that. I'll just
Well, I can't share screen yet. Oh, no, okay.
Okay.
But go ahead. What you were saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, just be kind of careful when you're talking about poverty situations. And then, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these situations you're talking about are situations that occur in poverty. You're not going to see these same situations occur in middle class and upper class communities. So I think that's definitely something that you got to kind of pay attention to when you're having a discussion
And,
about black.
And another thing, I got another question for the brother. Do you believe that most black men care about the betterment of the community?
Yes.
You think most black men care about the community? Okay.
Yeah.
So why doesn't it show?
Mm, the society.
What about it?
It's fixated on demonizing the men. That's why I keep telling y'all. The
Right,
men,
but see,
they fit the stereotype, but they actually demonize to the point of them not even existing.
so I gotta ask you this.
Let me go over
I
these
gotta ask you,
scores.
hold up though. I
No,
gotta ask
no,
you this.
no. You're gonna wait.
Let the
You're
commissioner
gonna
do
wait.
his thing, Rozzy.
All right.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the scores real quick. All right. So can y'all see? Can y'all see the scores?
Yeah, I see him.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
shit, my 162 to 11.
You only got 11.
That get them in 10 points though, don't it?
Yeah.
Well,
All right. So
That's a real goofy ass nigga, man.
What? How much
congratulations.
goofy?
Got your 10
That's a
points.
landslide.
Dudes, y'all play too much, man. Just shut down and let the man read it off. Give you
All
your
right, my
critique
bad.
stuff. Say what you gonna
My
say.
bad. My bad, man.
all right. So here is the buy round. We're gonna start out with Ahrataza. We got a 5 and a 6 for the opening round. These points are for Ahrataza's opening round.
And so in this round, you gotta remember when you coming up around the rock, you don't
We're
start
getting a
your.
little feedback, so y'all
Hold on, that might be
mute out.
me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is just a round when you wanna, if you can't have the stuff numbered, you know what I'm saying, your points numbered, and then just explain how your points and your sources is going to be, it connects to your premise. So I mean, this the opening. You just want to kind of keep it simple. I'm talking tonight. My stance is this. I'm going to use this and this and this to support my stance, and then move on.
All right. So 5 and 6 for the opening. Premise round, we got a 6 and a 7. Premise round, a 6 and a 7.
And so your opening round hurts your premise because it kind of shows. It kind of, your opening round being numbered and stuff will kind of keep you from being all over the place in your premise round. And so when your premise, your opening usually will lead to a pretty high score in your premise round if you do your opening correct. And so what it kind of looked like it happened, you kind of started your debate in the opening round, and then as you got into the premise, you was kind of out of your fire. You know what I'm saying, or some of the things that you was gonna say.
All right. All right. Rebuttal round.
Yeah, man, this right here is just being able to listen to your opponent carefully and finding something in his argument that you can flip on. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. You just gotta be paying attention. There's always something that you can flip, reverse, stand on. And then this also round helps you going into your rapid fire. Go ahead.
All right. The rapid fire round.
Okay.
7 and a 6. So for the rebuttal, he had a 5 and a 5 for the rebuttal. For the rapid fire round, he has a 7 and a 6.
I mean, you did pretty good in engaging. You did pretty good in engaging. It's just, I think on your end of the questioning part, you just needed to have something from his premise that you could attack. And I just don't think that you. It's always something that you can, whether you want to question something or question the validity of it or whatever. You just gotta use those points. So make sure you're paying attention to your opponent's argument.
All right. So we're now going into the closing, a 5 and a 5.
And again, closing round is similar to the opening. So this is just you brushing back over all of the points that you made, and then how those points supported your argument for the night, and then you closing out. You closing out.
Quality of PowerPoint, a 7 and an 8.
Okay. That's pretty decent. Just legible, making sure stuff is legible. Not so many words on one page. You know what I mean? Different stuff like that. I think a lot of us can shorten a lot of the stuff that we have because your rhetoric is going to carry your debate. So your PowerPoint really should just be helping you stay on track with your rhetoric. You know what I mean?
All right. Overall, a 6 and a 6. All right, so he ended up with a total of 94 points. 94 points for Ahrataza. All right.
That's a big boost from your last debate, dude. Good job, bro. It's a 20-point swing.
Appreciate that, King.
Yeah, you just gotta sharpen up, bro. The little stuff, like your opening round and your closing round. Those is 2 rounds that should be you in the bag. And then of course your premise, that's your argument. And so just making sure you kind of watching the top debaters on how they structure they debate before the debate, and that'll just help your points out.
All right. So let's get to Taz. A 9 and a 10 for the opening round.
Solid opening. Well, that's a fire opening. We see we got a 10, a 9. So obviously this is, you know what I mean? This is an example of how you're supposed to open up the round. You know, he went over the evidence that was going to support his argument. And then from then on, he carried on into the debate. This gave him momentum.
All right. A 10 and a 10 for the premise round.
Ooh, what? 2 10. And this is just, I mean, and this is we already know this is Taz's bag, so he's definitely confident in this topic. And then it shows, you know what I'm saying? Not only that, his control over the information. And then he was
King Kong heavyweight champion of black consciousness against Mighty Mike Tyson, the Iron Man. King.
All right. The rebuttal round, an 8 and a 10.
Okay. I definitely think he was able to go point for point with Ahrataza, and I think he went point for point. So I could have definitely seen 2 10s, but an 8 still high in respect is more than respectable. 8 is still very high, and of course the 10 is the best you can get. So another fire round.
Rapid fire round, a 7 and an 8.
And this kind of shows
they want that turn up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They want that turn up. There it is again. I keep seeing it, bro. They want to see somebody get cussed out. They want to see yelling. They don't want a structured conversation. It's clear.
Yeah, I think here they usually looking for somebody to kind of take control over the argument on both ends. And I think his questioning wasn't strong enough. I think he was able to mix it up, answering questions more. He was just kind of, just throwing my head. So you know how that goes.
Closing, a 10 and a 10.
And then the 10.
Yeah, they ain't like that rapid fire round, bro. They was bored. Motherfucker turn that rapid fire around. Like, man, get this shit over with, nigga.
They checked the clock on that motherfucker. It's like 2.5 minutes left. Okay. But these are the examples of Rob. Like when you go back and watch this debate, make sure you're paying attention to how Taz is opening and closing the structure. And that's something that you can bring it into your next debate.
All right, so we're going to the quality of the PowerPoint, 10 and a 9.
10 and a 9. Okay. I thought everything was legible. Definitely. You already know Taz PowerPoint is always on point. As far as what is legible, what's on the screen, you making use of articles and the way they use the sources. So like I said, this is definitely a good example of how you want to structure your argument and also how you want to set up your PowerPoint.
And the overall 9s.
Yeah. But just one off. And I think that's probably the rapid fire round. That's probably it.
No doubt.
That's probably it. Besides that, we probably looking at 2 teams like it.
All right, so he ends up with a 139 for
God
Taz.
damn it. God fucking damn it. I cannot get that 140 for shit, man. Fuck.
Yeah. Yep. That rapid fire would have did it.
Man. Well, it is what it is. I damn sure ain't pushing for no motherfucking no damn repeat or no score counter, no score checker, nothing. I'll take the 139. Hey man, good shit at Ahrataza, man. Like I say, man, I see a 20-point swing. I see a better debate than you had last time. I don't think that I just don't think you should take these type of debates though, bro. Like you got to kind of stick to what you know. And I just think this was kind of out of your league, but at the same time, you did score a lot better than you did the last time. So for real, man, I just think you need a little more structure with your shit, bro. You're not that bad. I don't even get the desire you want to do it though, bro. Like put some energy behind your shit, bro. That's what kept you under 100, bro. You up there putting niggas to sleep, bro.
Yeah.
Good shit though, man.
Definitely, because his rhetoric be on point. He just got to get the he know how to just talk. He got that down pat. And now you got to have your argument structured.
That's your comment. He knows how to talk. I mean, the nigga's 40 years old. Like he's supposed to know how to talk by then.
But you can listen to
at least the nigga said some words. The nigga said words.
I can't be serious.
Now it's something you turn on. You be like, hey, I'm
all right. So do y'all want to look at? Do y'all want to look at the other category?
Like, but y'all really could niggas. There was no good shit. That was not the type of.
Hey, bro, I appreciate that man debate me, bro. Hey, man, don't do that shit no more.
Man, you appreciate him. You appreciate him debating you because of the score, bro.
Exactly.
You get that. And at the beginning, I already said that I would have took this debate too.
All right, so y'all want to look at the standings first, or y'all want?
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not wasting my time.
Be here before you know it. You know
I'm not wasting my time with no Ahrataza, though. Just know that.
All right, so
I ain't wasting my time, nigga. My time was well used, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know.
So let's
Put
get to the
motherfucking scores on the screen. Fuck what this nigga talking about. This nigga ain't even off the bench yet. This nigga still in the summer league.
Go ahead and share screen.
Yeah, but that's the only reason. That's the only way you're able to talk, because you beating up on scrubs.
Bruh, I debated 3 playoff debaters and him, nigga.
All right, so this is how the standings is looking at this point. We have Taz. He has a total of 4 debates as of today, and So the rankings, obviously, he would be on top. He had more debates. Average, he's now surpassed Suave Boss, and he's currently under Minnesota, who has just one debate at this point in time. So, okay, so he's up there. All right. So, yeah, all the other categories, of course, he's going to be leading in because he has more debates. But he probably is up there on average as well. So that'll be Taz Ahrataza. Definitely had a major improvement, going up 10 points in his average to an 84. So definitely accomplishment.
Yeah, I don't think my language helped either.
Oh my God, hell no.
Good shit, bro. Good shit, man. Fuck what Domo talk about, nigga. Like I say, man, that 74 was a bad look, my nigga. Like I said, you almost crack a Honda, bro. Like, you're getting better.
Look, niggas, like, listen. He's setting you up for failure, bro. You need more than energy, my nigga. Like,
no, I'm not saying that's all he needs, but are you gonna say he don't need none?
No, I mean that's the last thing that you need to be thinking about.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the last thing you need, bro. Look, that's where it starts, bro.
I mean, no, bro. It starts with the information.
You got to get a fire burning in him, bro.
It starts with the conversation. Going, bro. It starts with the conversation. Like niggas need to stop being like, all right, I'm gonna hash out my personal beef as a debate and be surprised that they at the bottom. Can't do that. Because I can't be telling the judges, like I said, a large complaint was that the judges was talking shit about the topics. They was like, damn, we got to judge this shit. You feel me? So I can't be telling the judges like, hey, respect the topics, and niggas is jumping around talking about are black women treacherous? That's a debate topic. Come on, dog. I mean, shout out to the scores. Like Taz is really showing what he do, but it'd be interesting to see what the second half of your schedule gonna look like, nigga.
Oh, right. I'll tell you what it look like right now. It look like Domo. I got Akbalak and I got Blue Stick. Yeah. All playoff debaters.
Yeah. All right. So do y'all want to take a look at the round for round critique from the judges?
Let's do it.
All right. So it was funny because are you there, Yara?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, because it's funny because you said you didn't put your name on here. Then I forgot to put my name on that motherfucker too when I submitted the bit. So but yeah, just to let the judges know the name, if you want to put your name, it will go in the category in that overall category, which will ultimately be the final synopsis category of the survey. It'll say final synopsis, and you'll just give your final synopsis and then just type in your name at the end if you like. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring this on. All right, so this is per round. We're going to start out with Ahrataza.
Judge 1 opening was clearly a premise, not well thought out and led with sources to establish the premise argument. Camera on when not sharing was a positive. Judge 2 said opening sounded like a premise, did not take a firm position. Delivery was not professional. A lot of ums and his verbiage appeared to be off topic. Yeah.
I would be the second one.
Yeah, and I would be the first one. And so I'm sorry. I mean,
of course you were the first one. What else would you be, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I meant to say that as the fact that I led. I meant to say that before, so don't play with me, Solar. Just continue as you are. But the fact that we didn't exchange any notes, but we pretty much put the same exact thing as far as a commentary. It just shows that I really, I really didn't care for the topic personally.
Wait, y'all two judge this debate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey man, what? Well, hold on, wait, whoa, slow down. What the fuck is going? We gonna know who judged the debates now, or is this just?
Well, no, yeah, that like I said at the end, you could put they have this optional if the judge wants to let the name be known. But for this particular one, I wanted myself and the head of the judges to do it so the judges can have a clear understanding of what
you just wanted me to know, so I know you two motherfuckers judged it. I don't like y'all niggas, bro.
I mean, if you want to make this about you, I guess you could say that. I don't know.
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm saying that did y'all two have a conversation at any point, realize that was gonna make it about me?
Don't be a diva.
I'm gonna stop right there, bro, because I know what the new rules is.
Yeah, don't be a diva. No, it was optional. I mean, I didn't have to do it, but you know, I can care less if anybody knows I judged that debate or not. But you know, I thought that Ahrataza clearly opening simply sounded like a premise. It clearly wasn't an opening. So I just judged it technically. I didn't really care about you know, his overall information.
The main two niggas who talk about my rapid fire round.
I didn't really, you know, so that's pretty much what it was. But you'll see throughout the comments, I think that, you know, I think this is a good addition. So for those, whether judges' names are on the sheets or not, at least you'll have a written record of why and not just a number. And so you can understand.
Hey, so what is this right here based on? Was this based off my suggestion?
What?
I'm not sure.
Or was y'all already finna do this?
Oh no, that was based off your suggestion, brother.
Cause I like this, bro. This is good shit, bro. This is good shit, bro. I like this.
Yeah, you was the one that came in and requested this, you know.
Yeah, this good shit, bro. Cause like I said, now this give him a chance to see where he made his mistakes at. You know what I'm saying, and where he can improve at. Now it's up to him to want to improve. I just don't get the hunger from him, but if he want to improve, it's there.
All right. So we're gonna go to you know, just a little bit on my round. I think this day, you know, he just, you know, it sounded like a premise, but even the premise was kind of off topic from what his position was. You know, it really didn't. He was talking about the mother goddess, and I didn't really know how that would translate into the actual debate. You know, that was kind of like, okay, get to the position. More so like what he did in his premise. The opening is just to lay down what you're going to be arguing and why you're taking that position. So I think he kind of overdid it. I understood what he was trying to do because he didn't want to make himself look like this anti-woman dude. So he tried to put the black woman goddess, like he setting a high standard for, you know, black women before he goes in. But that's your position, bro. I mean, so you ain't got to prove to people like what you truly believe and all that. And you ain't got to prove you got to prove your argument right now. You took the position that they were, you know, treacherous. So that's what you got to be. You got to become the motherfucker that's proving that they treacherous. And that's why I said he appeared to be off topic at that point, because I was writing it by round, because I didn't know, maybe if you would have went with the black goddess the whole thing, you know, it would have been off topic from the actual debate, you know, but it was consistent for what you were saying. But it proved to be true once I heard your premise, you know. So with that being said, let's go to the premise. All right, so Domo, are you there? Can we hear you? All right, I'll just read it. Premise: actions of black women are in competition with black men are out of the divine order of God. Black women acts of treachery consist welfare, abuse, civil rights, Roe versus Wade, feminism. I guess he was actually posting some of the points that was being made throughout the round. So you could elaborate on that.
You know, from my understanding, you know, that was the premise that he led with. which was completely, not, which is basically what he was saying in his opening. He just continued, he just really repeated his opening in his premise round. And if you notice, if you go back to the debate in his opening round, he pretty much gave most of his sources that he quoted again in the premise round. So that was another reason why I simply said, well, your opening clearly sounds like your premise. And of course, he just simply reiterated his opening, which was, as his premise basically. And so, but those, I just wanted him to understand that those were some of the key points that I heard him bringing out to sort of establish his argument. And again, I'm not really judging, or vetting sources to the degree, to the degree whether or not, I'm giving him a point for point, reward or deduction for the sources that he brought out. I'm simply just looking at the technical aspects of the round itself. And so clear, his opening, his premise was there was no line drawn there. So, and I think that hurt him throughout the rest of the entire debate, and even tried to establish an argument. So,
yeah, I was hoping to see a better connection with the premise and the opening and the premise. I really didn't see that, the overall connection, because like I said, we kind of drift off into some other areas that did not really mesh well with treacherous, as he began to elaborate on the whole thing, he didn't seem like he had the ability to convict, the actual viewers and, the judges of his point. It's a lack of articulation as well. So those are some of the things that I took into consideration when I was coming up with his score. So let's go to the rebuttal round. It says it's simply stating that Taz presented a contrast argument is not a point for point rebuttal. Simply stating the obvious. Audio. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just simply say that. I mean, in his rebuttal round, his only response was that Taz was showing, a contrasting argument. I didn't really hear him attack any of Taz's points, point for point, or anything that Taz brought out in his premise. So again, really, his rebuttal didn't really sound like a rebuttal to me. He was simply stating the obvious. Yeah, if Taz presented a contrast, if he's presented a contrasting argument, okay, so what? What's your pushback against that? Just simply stating the obvious is not a rebuttal. So I just felt like it was, just not really a rebuttal, to be honest with
you. Kind of went into some of the technical issues. It was the audio was kind of choppy. It wasn't really like nothing to be marked for, but I just I took that as a note. I didn't know how choppy it was going to get, but it was kind of going in and out a little bit. As what Yarod said, failed to go in depth on the information presented by opponent. Like, I think the job of the rebuttal is to kind of write down at least some of the key points that was made. It would be good to get as many as possible. And then just deal with it and rebut it. Just go, point for point about what you disagree with that point and how his argument may have holes in it. So I didn't really see too much of that by Ahrataza. As what Yara said, just simply stating that it contrasts your views is not really sufficient enough to score high on the rebuttal round. So. And also, he ended the round pretty early. I mean, because you had enough information to talk about. The brother presented a lot of information. So, not necessarily if you would have actually dealt with the information. Like if you would have went point for point dealing with the information and the round ended with 3 minutes left, okay, cool. But everything kind of meshes together in terms of, the round ending early and you failing to actually deal with what he presented. Because I'm pretty sure if you went a little more in depth, you would have needed that 3 minutes.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So rapid fire round. He said at 7-minute mark, Taz agrees to the accusations of treachery by Black women, then frames it in terms of feminism is women's rights skirted the lines of ad hominem. Elaborate on that.
Yeah. So at around about starting around the 7-minute mark, I think that Ahrataza scored some points with me because he asked Taz. He gave him sort of a list of things that uh, um, that Ahrataza listed as treacherous, in terms of the accusations he had towards Black women. And Taz sort of, he sort of acquiesced to that because Ahrataza asked him, well, do you consider these things treacherous? Taz said, yes, I do. But then Taz did come back and say, he said he framed it in terms of, um, that feminism is women's rights, right? To sort of combat what he said. But I think Ahrataza sort of had already scored some points to me with that because he did get him to acquiesce to his point to his question. But then I had to hold back a little bit because um, on the scoring because Ahrataza started using ad hominems. I think from my recollection, one or two ad hominems he used. And so for me, that sort of pulled back on probably, he probably lost another full point because of the ad hominems. He really started, skirting that, really started getting personal, um, personal with Taz and his attack. So those are the two main points. So if you go back and look at the debate um, in the rapid fire round at around the 7-minute mark, you guys will be able to understand, why I judged the round the way that I did, scored it the way that I did.
All right, this is the closing. Oh, just a little bit on mine. Yeah, he was kind of rambling, like he wasn't really asking questions. Initially, he would just be going on, talking about his points, but he wasn't asking questions. So much so that Taz said, "Do you want to ask me a question?" The foul language warning was issued. And then at the 3-minute 15-second mark, he said "fuck boy," and then so I deducted a point for that, and then another deduction for when he said "I don't give a fuck." So those would be the deductions to the ad hominems, from myself on Ahrataza's rapid fire round. Okay, closing. Rambling, impossible to give out a proper closing score because he presented no opening and hominem attacks continue. Yara?
Yeah, I think by that time, I think he was all out of things to argue. And I think because he didn't really have a premise coming out of the gate, and his opening didn't have an opening coming out of the gate. His opening pretty much sounded like a premise, and basically your closing you should just be summarizing, your opening, which should have led, which you should have been able to establish with your premise and your sources. So because he wasn't able to do that, I think Blue said it best in reviewing the scores that it kind of bled over into the how I viewed his scoring, right? And then the ad hominem attacks increased, right? And they just continued. So shout out to Taz for really not responding to them. because that would have hurt him as well, had he responded to it. But shout out to Taz for not doing that. So that's to all the debaters. Once you recognize that your opponent is using ad hominem attacks, it's nothing that's going to benefit you to respond in the same manner. But keep your composure, and you'll see it reflected in the scores, in your scores for for not following that. So I think he did. I'm just going to be candid. I think he did poorly in that round, and I think he was just completely rambling. I think at that point, wasn't being really coherent. Really wasn't making much sense by that point, for me. So that's the gist of my comment. Yeah.
All right. So moving forward to the PowerPoint and presentation commentary.
Yeah, his I think his PowerPoint was was well planned and designed. So I give him credit for that. So I think it shows that that he took some time to sit down and to actually prepare an argument, to prepare his argument, to give us a visualization. So I just thought it was well planned and designed for that.
Says fair, good point, good PowerPoint, fairly good PowerPoint. Words were legible. Visual was fair. He sourced his information. I think that the Britannica.com wasn't a direct source to actually find his information. I think that it would be a little bit more to actually state where in the Britannica, and I go to Britannica.com, it's just a whole website where how am I gonna find this? So I think that it wasn't a direct enough source, but other than that, it was a pretty good PowerPoint. So overall.
My overall synopsis of Ahrataza's presentation and debate. He did not have a clear opening, and it showed in his overall argument to prove the treachery of the Black woman. I think he stumbled out of the gate and was never able to really recover. So that's really it in a nutshell. So
Ahrataza can be a more effective debater if you focus in on his argument delivery. Ahrataza is to bring the correct information that the particular round demands. That's what Yara said. He was kind of off from the beginning. Opening sounded like a premise. The premise was a premise. The rebuttal kind of was like the premise, and the closing sounded like a premise / rebuttal. So with that being said, that'll be the final synopsis. And this is usually where the names is going to go. So after they state their final synopsis, the name will be following that. All right. So that's for the judges. All right. So once again, it's optional, just to let y'all guys know. So moving forward, we're going to Taz, opening round.
Sure. I thought Taz, it says opening clear. He gave a clear synopsis of his debate to establish his argument of the meaning of treachery and the biasness to be shown towards Black women is unwarranted. Let me see here. He stated his objective, that Black women are being undermined by absurd, misogynistic, I spelled that wrong, narratives. And then I gave him credit for camera being on for, we're not sharing information. I think that was a positive. That means they're adhering to all the rules. Writers, I did the same thing. So we appreciate that. But I just thought Taz had a very, very, very clear opening. Pretty much, I won't say textbook, but for this particular debate, I thought it was very clear I knew exactly where he wanted to go from his opening, and what he looking forward to what he in his opening, what he said he was going to try to establish in his premise. And so I believe I scored him a 10 with that, I believe. So I didn't see any reason to, to not score him a 10. I think anything that I would wanted him to have done in the opening, he did that for me as a judge. So I think that warranted a 10. So so that was my synopsis for his opening round.
Yeah, I think that I agree with Yara. And I put left 1 minute on the clock. That was my point deduction. I mean, he did an excellent job at stating his premise, letting it know what he's going to be talking about. And that's the job for the opening. The job for the opening is to state those things, what you're going to actually be talking about and what you're going to get into in the premise round. So, with me, I'm a post, in the category, the things that, I deduct, the points that is going to be deducted. So, if I'm not saying too much, then you're doing a good job. So this is the premise round. Yara?
Yeah, premise. You said black women are treacherous. That was his premise, and it was clear. He went into the Goldman Sachs article. He went into the Georgetown law study. I believe it was called the Sentencing Project. I couldn't really read that, and I missed. I know that he said it, but I really missed it. But I believe it said the Sentencing Project. He talked about in that the decline in prison population among Black women, rights for girls, Urban Institute. He talked about trafficking, AFCARS, AFCARS, the Polaris study, talking about missing and murdered Black women, the rights for girls, the Polaris world, Polaris. So I believe his premise, and I appreciated the fact that his premise was well sourced, and he articulated and articulated the round. And what I mean by that, I believe he came close to as you could possibly can as a textbook premise. It was clearly set up by his opening, and in his opening, it flowed right into his premise, and that's where he gave his source information that supported his argument very clear. I think he left no holes in establishing his argument. And so I believe I gave him a 10 on that round as well. So I thought he did a very excellent job in his premise.
Yeah, I gave him a 10 as well for the same reasons. I think that he made it his duty to follow the rules pertaining to, even in the premise round of, showing the information and helping the viewers as well as the judges follow along. It was all well sourced, and he made a point to make it clear, where the sources was coming from. He went out his way to actually show, detailed information, whether it was charts or articles and things of that nature, to prove his point. So definitely was a very powerful premise round. Rebuttal.
Sure. His rebuttal round, and I didn't mention everything that he had established in his rebuttal round because I thought some of those things were nearly as necessary to his rebuttal, to rebut Ahrataza, but the Joseph Skipper article, the Harvard Business Review, I think that the Eldridge Cleaver Soul on Ice source that he brought out, I thought because it was completely relevant to his argument, it didn't take him off topic. I didn't consider any of that as new information being presented, but I placed it in the continuity of his entire premise of his argument. So it didn't, take me to a different thought. It didn't take me into a different argument. I think it all flowed, with his opening, establishing his premise. I think it flowed with his rebuttal. and I want to say this, I think that Eldridge Cleaver and Soul on Ice information that he brought out, I think that was a powerful source that he used for that. The Regina Jennings, the black man wealth gap disparity, I think that clearly rebutted the welfare abuse generalization of black women that Ahrataza kept harping on. So I think that really cut out Ahrataza's total argument right there. Clearly rebutted his entire presentation with that Regina Jennings article and the Eldridge Cleaver Soul on Ice. I think that pretty much wiped out everything Ahrataza really had to say. But again, I didn't really hit him hard on the technical stuff. I just because I felt he had already given me enough information in the round total to validate a strong rebuttal round.
So what did you give him?
I think I gave him a 9, an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, you gave him
I'm
an
not
8.
sure. Go back and look. I gave him an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave him an 8. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it was a couple of slight technical issues. I mean, I jotted down just to see if it's going to end up being a problem, and just so we could know where the problem began. But it turned out to be nothing major, as what Yara said. I think that he definitely emphasized his points. He did a very good job at not only taking advantage of all the time in the rebuttal round, but dealing with the points that was made by Ahrataza. Once he got that out the way, he began to re-emphasize his points. So and that's one of the things that you will fall victim to if you don't lay down a solid argument. They can get your information out probably by the 5-minute mark, and then for the rest of that round, because he dealt with all your points, he can go in more so to re-emphasizing his points. So definitely was a good round. I gave him a 10 for that round.
Yeah.
So in many ways, you got to be careful as to your argument. In your premise is served twofold: to lay down a good, solid foundation as to what your argument is, and also on the defensive side, it could definitely help you, in the rebuttal round if they're not answering those questions. So if you can make it a lot easier for them, the less questions or the less arguments that you lay down in your premise round.
Right.
And that was the case in this particular situation. So I gave him a 10 for the rebuttal round. Okay, so Yara?
Yeah, I think that in the rapid fire round, I want to say this to Taz, that I liked your tone in the rapid fire round. I liked how you handled the rapid fire round. I don't think the turn up is or was the issue. I wasn't looking for that from you at all. I think you had enough energy in the round. I just think that you need to work on your questioning. I don't think you had for the strong opening you had, the strong premise you had, the strong rebuttal you had. I expected you to have more stinging questions.
It was unscripted, bro. The scores reflected. It was unscripted. That's the one part of my debate I didn't get to finish.
And that's the only thing, because I was like, okay, he got enough. He gonna torpedo him on a couple of questions. It's gonna be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't hear that, but you did say I did hear one. So around the 2-minute mark, Taz asked, "Where's the evidence of the treachery of the black women of black women is proven?" You never got an answer from Ahrataza. And the only reason why I didn't give you a 8, 9, I think I didn't give you a 9 or a 10 in that round is because with that question, he didn't give you an answer, but you didn't kill him with it. You just let him go, right? And so I was just, okay, he didn't give him an answer, but he could have just killed him in that round. He didn't even have to really turn up because he didn't have an answer.
Yeah.
So so I think, and so sexism and racism still exist to hinder black women. Taz maintained great composure. See, that's what I wrote. Even after the ad hominems, because he was, he went into his ad hominem attacks. You kept your cool. You didn't, you didn't give him any of that bad energy back, right? Even though he continued to give you those ad hominem attacks, right? And so Sola had already given him a warning about, foul language and the use of foul language, and I deducted a point from Ahrataza for the foul language. During your round, I went back and deducted another point from the rebuttal round from him because of that, because he deserved to have that point, a point deduction because of it. But I think even if you didn't, I think that question would have been enough to just blow him out the water in that round. But you let him go. But I think just a couple of more, just
I
like
wasn't looking.
knockout questions, you would have got at least a 8, 9, or a 10 from me, easy.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah, that's a different answer than what I thought. But yeah, I didn't look for the kill shot. You know what I'm saying? It was completely unscripted. That was the one part of it that I just didn't have with me. And it's like, yeah, I thought I can get through it, but I didn't feel like I did good with the questions. So the score reflected.
Yeah, I think he did a great job at pressing the issues of his opponent. And so much so that he seemed to get a little frustrated when asked certain questions, or challenged. That'd be on the offense and the defense. He seemed to be comfortable with asking, getting questions from his opponent, as what Yara said. I scored him an 8. I think that he could do a better job at cornering him on the point and, kind of finishing the deal, so it was a round where he controlled, but he did not really, get him, on the points that he initiated, so it's almost about finishing finishing the line of questioning on the rapid fire round. Because the rapid fire round is really designed for you to go for blood. That's the whole purpose of the rapid fire round. So,
Yeah,
it's not about yelling. It's more so about, cornering the person on a particular point, within the context of the premise and the rebuttal round. So, that'll show the judges that, this individual argument has holes in it because, when I asked him certain amount of questions, he, pretty much had to acquiesce or whatever the case may be. I think it was an 8 though, with that being said, because he did control both aspects of the rapid fire rounds, in my opinion. So
I appreciate the clarity. Like I said, because think about it like this: if I don't get the clarity, I leave this thinking, okay, I gotta yell at niggas, I gotta cuss niggas out. Nah, it makes sense to when you say I didn't close the deal, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even use that round for that purpose. And so I as I always say, I don't know what I'm missing in that round. I kind of get it a little better now. And so, we'll see what's up.
Sola, let me say this. Would you kind of like that particular round, Sola, would you kind of say that's sort of like the debaters shucklebuck round? Like that's just their opportunity to shucklebuck the opponent?
Yeah. If simply put, as that would be probably the best way to put it, so y'all can have an understanding. I think I'm pretty sure the rest of the debaters, have an understanding. He's a new debater, so maybe, because we in season 4, so when we say the rapid fire round, they knew to get it in, so that would be, the point. Like, you're going to get a point in on them because you only got 10 minutes. You can't go over like literally every point, but you want to get, him on a point or two, within the line of questioning. And so that will be the goal, ultimately in the rapid fire round. So we talking about the closing. Go ahead, Yara.
Yeah, you see, it was. I just put simply a 10. Just simply a 10. I think that so far, this is that was the best closing that I've heard out of all of the debates this season. Um, if anybody wants to get an example of how they should close, what the closing round should sound like, I would refer to this debate. I think Taz did an excellent job with this closing. I thought it was exceptional. I put a plus 10 because if I could have gave him more points, I would have gave him more points. So I just gave him a plus 10. I thought it was an excellent, excellent textbook closing for a debate. So that was that. So I gave him a 10.
Yeah, and I gave him a 10 for the same reasons. I think that he did everything he was supposed to do in the closing, which is present information. No new information, just information that he kind of went over, just rehashing his points and letting it be known that his point still stands firm and in light of all the information that was presented from his opponent, that his argument still is the strongest argument. And he just did a great job at doing that. So definitely great closing. Yeah, I gave him a 10. So I believe he got 20 for that overall. So that's perfect score. PowerPoint and presentation.
Yeah. Again, I put simply a 10. It was clear. It was legible. I like one aspect. I've seen Domo do this before. I've seen Anonymous Hebrew do this before, Orthodox more others. But in this particular presentation, I like the fact that on your presentation, on your slides, where you source your info, when you gave clear sources, you also highlighted the important aspects. You pulled that out and bolded them, had them bolded on the side. So when I looked at the slide, I already understood what your argument, what points you were actually making as you was going through your information along with your source. So I think I think that was perfect. You did that, through each basically all the slides you did when you present the information. And then the various sources of information that you used. I like that. So it tells me that you actually put something into this debate. You didn't just take it, well, this is a topic I know that I can win. You actually showed and proved, um, you know, with your sources. So I think that was a good quality round as well. So another excellent presentation. So I gave you a 10 for that round.
Yeah, I would give him a 9 for the round. For the same reasons, he definitely was very in depth. You could tell he put time into his PowerPoint presentation. The sources were there. It was nothing that was not, that wasn't legible. Didn't have to squint and look at the sources. He made it his duty to make the sources clear and concise. So I definitely give him, a 9 for the PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, so that was a good job with the PowerPoint. Overall.
Yeah, I said a very well thought out and researched debate overall. I believe I scored you a 9 overall, and that's simply based on your rapid fire round because I think you missed the opportunity to just blow him out, I clearly thought you had the better argument overall. I believe you proved that, showed that tonight. But I thought you just left something on the table in that rapid fire round. So for me, that cost you a point for me, where you probably would have got a 10 for me overall. But I think I scored you with a 9, I think, or something like that.
I gave him a 9 as well. It was a great presentation. It was easy to follow along. Once again, he made his arguments very clear and concise. He definitely pushed the issue in the rebuttal round by challenging, the couple arguments that was made by Ahrataza. Like I said, he controlled the rapid fire round, but it wasn't, to the point where he actually cornered him, as what I would see, because the judges they kind of view things a little differently, but I think that it could be a better job done, in the rapid fire round, far as the line of questioning, to get him to pretty much acquiesce to the point, because it was heading in that direction. But sometimes maybe it's a let up, or is not enough pressure being applied, and that don't really necessarily consist of yelling, just more so just driving home the point, is what I'm personally looking for. So definitely excellent round. I mean, excellent overall debate though. And like I said to the judges, this is where you're going to put your name. Once you finish putting the comment, just you may hit the enter a couple times and then just put your name at the bottom there. You can sign off on it, and it's optional, so you don't have to do that. So with that being said, that is the new category for you debaters. And once again,
I appreciate that shit, bro.
Final score 139-94. Taz.
You had a 139?
Yeah, he had a 139.
Mm.
Yeah, he had a 139. So yeah, he was close to that 140, man. Yeah. So I guess for the opening, I gave him a wait. What you give him for the opening? A 10?
I gave him a 10.
Okay, so you gave him an 8 for the rebuttal. I gave him a 10 because I gave him a 9 for the opening and the PowerPoint when you gave him a 10, and you gave him an 8. You gave him an 8, and I gave him a 10 for the rebuttal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rapid fire round, you gave him a 7, and I gave him an 8.
Yeah.
In terms of the agreement part is what I'm, focusing on. So maybe, the 1 point, either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, 139, 94 is the score once again. Shout out to both debaters. Very powerful debate. The next debate will be between Minister Howe and Afro-Asiatic.
Wow.
It's a biblical debate. Should be a very interesting debate. It's dealing with Joseph. Was Joseph the father of Jesus? All right. So that'll be this coming Sunday. Make sure you be in the building for that. This is your boy Sotomayor signing out of here.
Peace. Shalom.
Oh, wait. Somebody gave me the joint. So
I think it said somebody gave me the joint. Hell yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, man, we need that breakdown because that just did a lot for me. That just helped me a lot. So
yeah, because you're remedial. That's why, bro.
Yeah, I'm rapid fire remedial. I'm not going. We can look at my last season rapid fire scores to see I never got that round. So I gotta get it a little better now.
So where is everybody at? Y'all gonna conversate because I'm about to go to sleep for an hour.
This motherfucker, I'm gone. I'll holler.
All right. So with that being said, we could go ahead and close this thing out. So shout out to the debaters. Once again, we'll be on the 3rd. We got Minister Howe going up against Afro-Asiatic. Was Joseph the father of Jesus? That'll be on Sunday, the 3rd, family. So
and there's me and Taz on the 10th, right? No,
I believe you guys is on the 10th or the 11th. And to let y'all guys know, you are setting up some debates. I will be on vacation from the 14th to the 18th. So any date after that is good. Yeah, you're debating on the 11th. That'll be, is the Black woman relation to the system detrimental to the Black community? Okay, so we're dealing with the Black woman. The Black woman is the conversation for this season, family. So very interesting. thus far here in the Solar Vision Debate League. Shout out to the debaters and shout out to the league, man. This is the Solar Vision Debate League signing out. Peace. Shout out to the Argument League.